I'd tell you why the start of the wrestling year is so exciting, because you just never know who's going to step up. There are countless performers in 2017 that no one would have pegged to have risen through the ranks, and yet here we are at the end of another 12 months and so many unexpected faces are making us cry tears of joy because they won us over. In short, they have improved, and that's wonderful all round. It's great for them, it's great for the promotion they work for, and it's great for us, a new hero to send creepy tweets to because we can. Excellent! I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is the 10 most improved wrestlers of 2017. Number 10, Alexa Bliss. Outside of the ring, Alexa Bliss has always been great. Always good at finding a personality and making it work. Bliss has also been pretty decent with the microphone since day one, and all of that has just improved in 2017. The one area people did underline as a weakness though was her in-ring work. Today, I think she's silenced a lot of that. While she will continue to work her way upwards, she now moves better, bumps better, grapples better, and is all round just better. And you can't criticize that. It's the whole point, to raise your game every day and never look back. Plus she's an awesome heel and arguably the best on the entire women's roster. Any mishaps she did have this year as well were related to booking, which were out of Bliss's hands, which is why she's on this list. She's a highlight of Raw, and I bet 2018 is even more kick-ass for her. Number 9, the Velveteen Dream. Patrick Clark not winning Tough Enough was a blessing in disguise. As we know, being victorious on that show is like a death knell. Even when he did make it to NXT in June 2016, he didn't really light the world on fire, however. Today, that's all changed. While his re-emergence as the Velveteen Dream didn't come about till May 24th, 2017, straight away people knew this was different. Part Goldust, part Prince. The Dream felt fresh and Clark threw himself into it so much you couldn't help but be dragged in. If he believed, so did you. From the summer onwards as well, his in-ring work just got better and better. He was able to merge his persona with what he did between the ropes and undoubtedly put himself in a position as one of WWE's hottest prospects. I mean, just go and watch everything he did with Aleister Black. It's top stuff. It's all very exciting because Clark is still so young. I'd keep an eye on this firecracker. He could go all the way. Number 8, Naomi. I'm not sure how many people had Naomi pegged down to become one of the best performers on SmackDown in 2017, but damn it, that's what happened. She took the athleticism she'd always shown, mixed that with a very nice babyface character, and made both her women's championship runs and some of her matches stand out. I think it's certainly fair to say this year was her best to date in WWE. And there's been a few injuries, sure, but that happens. It's not like she didn't come back soaring each time. Also, towards the end of 2017, her returning from a Riot Squad beating was greeted with glee by the crowd, another sign that she's had a very successful 12 months. More excitingly, there's still more room for her to improve as well, which, like a lot of people on this list, means 2018 should be awesome for Naomi. And I'm alright with that. Talent is what talent does. Or something. That was Forrest Gump. Number 7, Andrade Cien Almas. Even in July of 2017, the thought of Almas being NXT champion seemed ridiculous, and yet look where we are by the end of the year. He'd climbed to the top of the mountain by defeating Drew McIntyre, showing just how much he'd achieved since signing 2 years ago with the WWE. This hasn't been easy either. It was clear that either Andrade himself or the company weren't making the right moves when it came to transitioning him into mainstream American wrestling. He was going nowhere at one point, which was madness for a guy who'd made a name for himself elsewhere. Teaming him with Selena Vega though, which gave him a voice and a much needed kick up the rear end, and all of a sudden this swaggering heel character and in-ring work meant he'd made his way to a main event match at War Games. Today he looks totally comfortable there and he's delivering his best work so far and probably has a lot to offer the main roster one day too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Number 6, Neville. Neville has always been amazing. Even before he got to the WWE, his skills were off the charts, and he's an innovator and an original spark throughout all of pro wrestling. I think he could have a good match with a fish if he wanted, even though if that happened in the WWE, the fish would go over. Anyway, in 2017, Neville took everything he had learned and came up with a heel persona that was on par with his technical work, and the results were magic. Not only did it make 205 Live worth watching, but Neville made the Cruiserweight title matter, was brilliant on the mic, and even found a way to get it across on social media. It was the complete package. Angry, arrogant, and aggressive, the King of the Cruiserweights character should have been the catalyst to launch him onto the main roster and into major programs. That's how good it all was. With all this in mind, let's hope whatever happens with his future, he is treated like a huge star. The former Puck has earned it, and 2018 is without doubt his time. Number 5, Beretta. It's a shame that Beretta's work has largely flown under the radar this year because the former WWE man is having an incredible year in New Japan, Ring of Honor, and beyond. Beretta's Roppongi Vice tag team engaged in a lengthy feud against the Young Bucks, having some Match of the Year candidates along the way, and though him and Rocky Romero had split up by Summer's End, Beretta was clearly operating at a higher level than before. Throughout the year, he was constantly the reason a bout went from good to great. As a singles wrestler too, he has produced breathtaking performances against the likes of Jack Sabre Jr., Ray Phoenix and Jeff Cobb on the indies, and then he did it again in New Japan when he unsuccessfully took on Kenny Omega for the NJPW US title. Still only 3 months into his singles push as these words come out of my mouth, it's all a sign of things to come from Beretta, who should find many similar opportunities coming his way in the future. That's a good 2017. Number 4, Evil. While Evil has never been a slouch between the ropes, he was the very representation of a mid-card guy at the start of the year. He was well positioned but overshadowed by Naito, Sanada and Takahashi, leaving him with little to do other than fill a spot in New Japan's many undercard tag belts. Then July rolled around and Evil made sure to become one of the G1 Climax Tournament's standout performers. He just took off from there. Great matches with Kenny Omega, Juice Robinson and especially Okada highlighted his in-ring growth, and all of a sudden he felt like a huge deal. Everyone reacted accordingly. Evil fought the biggest match of his career at King of Pro Wrestling in October, where he delivered another stiff, hard-hitting performance against Okada, proving once again that he belongs in the same conversation as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Good stuff right there. Number 3, the Authors of Pain. This time last year, the Authors of Pain were nothing more than a pair of newbies who needed some work. It wasn't that they were bad, but their inexperience shone through, and on occasion, they were quite sloppy. In 2017, they addressed all that to become one of the most compelling tag teams in the entire company. It began with a strong performance against Gargano and Ciampa at TakeOver San Antonio, and escalated in April when they faced both DIY and The Revival in Orlando. The three-way match was their coming out party, and while their opponents were all extremely talented, they more than held their own. An outstanding follow-up against DIY followed, and the Bros also had a good war with Sanity. Now, they not only feel like a top team, but they bring an impressive array of dynamic tag team moves to the table. Add their size to the equation, and the Author of Pain's ceiling looks very, very high indeed. Number 2, Juice Robinson. Once given some weird eco-warrior gimmick in NXT, which was dead on arrival, Juice Robinson has become one of the modern era's greatest post-WWE success stories. The former CJ Parker's career has gone through the roof in 2017, specifically thanks to heading to New Japan and becoming one of the most likable babyfaces in the entire company. It started in January when Robinson was a regular highlight in multi-man tags, which then led to an IWGP IC title shot against Naito in April. From there, he just continued to improve. Not only did Robinson's popularity soar, but so did his credibility, with Juice scoring a potentially career-defining win over Kenny Omega in the G1 Climax. Robinson followed this up with another star-making performance against the Cleaner in September, but the key with all of this is that it was super fun to watch. Counts for a lot in modern-day pro wrestling, and what he does in 2018 should be very interesting indeed. Number 1, Braun Strowman. Well, who saw this coming? Nobody at the start of 2017, and even fewer than that when he originally debuted. And that doesn't make any sense, because you can't have fewer than no one. But that's the impression Braun Strowman has made over the last year. It's been nothing short of brilliant. And sure, there was the odd disappointment, such as his clash with Brock Lesnar at No Mercy, but that wasn't bad, and nearly everything else he did was great. His entire feud with Roman Reigns was fantastic, and he was the MVP of SummerSlam in the crazy four-way main event. He just did the little things so well and came off like a crazy but awesome cartoon. What really puts this over the top is that Braun has only been doing this for less than 3 years. What that means for his future, I don't know. It's certainly good. There's every chance he becomes the template for what a modern big man should be. He whoops so much ass as well that he's just exceedingly entertaining. Seeing him power slam falls through tables in 2017 has been a joy. I doubt he'll ever have 5-star classic after 5-star classic, but that's not what I want from Strowman. I just want him to be an out-and-out controlled giant. And so far, hasn't let me down. Good work, Braun. Good work.
Gosh, can you believe that person said that about that particular video on that entry? I sure can't. But you should like, share and subscribe below anyway. And also, the people who made this video, they're right here. Go follow them and give them some love. Also, there's more content, probably above my head. Check it out. Or don't. 50-50.